Proud to announce we made an arrest early this morning in reference to the homicide we had yesterday in the 500 block of Division Street. We cleared this within less than 12 hours, which is great. A lot of great police work was put into this, and we have a suspect in custody who confessed to the homicide. So we have closure for the family.
Turned himself in?
Turned himself in, yes. The suspect's name is Keontae Upton, and word got out to him that we were looking at him, and he wanted to come in and tell his side of the story. He came in roughly around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock this morning, and turned himself in, and at that time he confessed to the homicide. So he's in custody on first-degree murder charges. I'm not going to get into all that because I really don't know. I know that he confessed and said he was the shooter and he committed the homicide.
Chief, can you tell us a little more about what the circumstances that may have led to this shooting?
It appears, according to the witnesses who were in the car, who all made positive identifications from a photo lineup of the suspect prior to him turning himself in, that they were there to do a drug transaction with the suspect. The victim had showed up, and the victim and the witnesses showed up to do a drug deal. Somehow the drug deal went bad. The victim was ripped off of his money by the suspect. The suspect at which time fired a round into the car. Thank God nobody was hitting the car at that time. And the suspect fled on foot. The victim was in the car, pursued the suspect as the suspect was running, and the victim lost control of his car and crashed. Got out of the car and began to chase the suspect who was running down the northbound in the 500 block of Division. The suspect turned around and fired at least 2 times, 2 rounds at the victim, striking him, and the victim collapsed in the street. The suspect continued to flee on foot. It appears he went westbound on Loomis towards MLK. The witnesses, who were also in pursuit on foot, picked up our victim and brought him back to the vehicle to try to help him out. Unfortunately, he expired from his injuries. So we were able to, great support from the community. We put some information out there we're looking for, and the community came through and provided us with a name, and we were able to work from that, get photo lineups, able to get positive identification. We have some great video evidence, and the suspect, it's pretty good when a suspect calls you to turn himself in a homicide because he's feeling the heat, and we haven't even turned the heat up. He turned himself in, which is great. So,
Chief, will you talk a little about what this was over? And we're talking nothing. I mean, right? Didn't you say it was over marijuana?
It was over marijuana. I don't know how much the weight on it was, but drugs are horrible, and people say, oh, drugs aren't bad or marijuana's not bad. Well, look, we have a young man killed over drugs. There's a nexus to drugs, so it is a problem. Marijuana is a problem, and a young man's dead over what? Over nothing, and another man's life is ruined. Just turned 18 on the 9th of this month, so his life is pretty much done, all over a drug deal and ripping people off. And and what about the innocent people in the public that live on the street, kids out playing and families out there? Thank God none of them were hit with any kind of bullets. So we are not going to tolerate that. We're going to come out in force like we have been. We have a zero tolerance policy for gun violence, for any violence. And if you come to the city and try it, we're coming after you. We're going to shut you down. And you solve the homicide, and probably I say 12 hours, it's probably more like 8 to 10 hours. We had the suspect in custody for the time of the crime. We got closure for the family.